Hello guys, welcome to the channel Patente B in English on Facebook, Patente B in English, and also on YouTube, Patente B in English. This year is our year, and by the grace of God, we are going to make it. So please don't give up. Everything is possible with consistency, determinations, and self-confidence. We are going to make it. So once again, welcome to the channel Patente B in English. Now, we have live lessons on YouTube from Mondays to Fridays, only in the evening from 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. on YouTube. So please, if you may be interested to join the live lessons on YouTube where we are meeting from Mondays to Fridays, only in the evening from 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Please take the number you see on the screen and WhatsApp me, and let me give you all the information of how you can join the membership and join the live lessons. God bless you guys. Now, look at these two signals. They are very, very simple, guys. Very, very simple. This year, you shall be congratulated. This year, by hook or crook, you shall be congratulated. So don't give up. Don't give up. Everything is possible. Now, these two signals, they are indicating no overtaking. These two signals, they are indicating no overtaking. And they are very, very simple. So now, let's get into them one after the other. Now, let's emphasize on this first signal. It is called Divieto di sorpasso, meaning no overtaking. In Italian, when we say Divieto, it means forbidden. Forbidden. Sorpasso means overtaking. So, no overtaking, or overtaking is forbidden. Very simple. So now, this is the English version. No overtaking. Very simple. So whenever you see this signal, it means no overtaking. Divieto di sorpasso. Okay, so now we have two laws on this signal. Okay, it is true that when you see this signal, it means that you can't do overtaking. But guys, attenzione, there are some cases where even if in the presence of this signal, still overtaking is possible. So now we have two rules or two laws on this signal. So now the first law or the first rule is that when you see this signal, vietato sorpassare tutti i veicoli a motore con più di due ruote, anche se si sta dentro la propria semicarreggiata. It's very simple. Now, the first law says that when you see this signal, you are forbidden to overtake all the vehicles with an engine with more than two tires. So if the vehicle ahead of you has an engine and the tires are more than two, the law says that you can't do overtaking on those vehicles, even if the overtaking can take place within their own lane. When we say semi-carreggiata, it means a lane. Semi-carreggiata means a lane. So guys, very simple. The first law of this signal says that overtaking is forbidden on all vehicles with an engine with more than two tires, even if the overtaking can take place in the same lane. Okay, so when you are in the circulation and the vehicle ahead of you is moving very, very slow, and you want to do overtaking on that vehicle, if that vehicle ahead of you or in front of you has an engine and the tires are more than 2, the law says that you can't do overtaking on that vehicle because that vehicle has an engine. And secondly, the tires of that vehicle, they are more than 2. So you can't do overtaking on that vehicle. Okay, so now look at the English version. It says that it is forbidden to overtake all motor vehicles. When we say motor vehicles, it means vehicles with an engine. Vehicles that has an engine is what we mean by motor vehicles. So now, it is forbidden to overtake all motor vehicles with more than 2 wheels, even if you stay within your own semi-carriageway. So if you see this signal and the vehicle ahead of you has an engine and the tires are more than 2, even if the overtaking can take place within the same lane, the law says that because that vehicle has an engine and the tires are more than 2, you can't do overtaking on those vehicles. Very simple. That is the first law. Now, look at this. We have all these vehicles over here. The name of this vehicle, it is called tricycle, and it is big Okada that has 3 tires. So this tricycle is a vehicle with an engine and the tires are more than 2 because this vehicle, as you see, the tires are 3. We have auto Ventura, we have auto caravan, we have autobus, and we have auto carro. So all these vehicles you see, they are all vehicles with an engine and their tires are more than 2. So because they have an engine and their tires are more than 2, the law says that in the presence of this signal, you can't do overtaking on these vehicles because they have an engine and their tires are more than 2. So you can't do overtaking on them. Okay, so now you see the road over here, you see the signal. So even if the vehicle is moving very, very slow, because it has an engine and the tires are more than 2, you can't do overtaking on them. That's the first law. Now, let's go to the second law of this signal. What does it say? Very simple. It says that si possono sorpassare motocicli e ciclomotori a 2 rotte e tutti i veicoli che non hanno motore. So the second law says that now, with this signal, you can overtake big Okada and small Okada with 2 tires. So if the vehicle ahead of you is a big Okada or small Okada with an engine, so far as the tires are 2, the law says that because their tires are 2, you can overtake those Okada and all the vehicles without an engine. E tutti veicoli che non hanno motore. So if the vehicle ahead of you is without an engine, the law says that because that vehicle is without an engine, you can do overtaking on that vehicle. But if that vehicle has an engine, you can still do overtaking if the tires are only 2. But if the tires are more than 2, you can't do overtaking. So you can do overtaking on vehicles with an engine with that has only 2 tires or below. But if the tires are more than 2 and has an engine, you can't do overtaking on them. So this is the second law. Okay. So now look at the English version. You can overtake motorcycles. We're talking about the big Okada with 2 tires. Mopeds are the ciclomotori, that are the small Okada with 2 tires, and all vehicles without an engine. So if you see any vehicle without an engine, with this signal, overtaking is possible. Now, for example, we have big Okada, we have small Okada. These ones, their tires are 2 and they have an engine. So because they have an engine and their tires are 2, overtaking is possible. But if their tires are 3, then and they have an engine, overtaking could not be possible. And then overtaking is possible on all vehicles without an engine. We have a bicycle. Bicycle has no engine. This one is veicolo a trazione animale. Okay, it has no engine. So overtaking is possible on these vehicles as well. So guys, very, very simple. Now, let's go to the second signal. Now, this signal goes to only the vehicles transporting goods. Only the vehicles transporting goods. Now, the name of this signal, it is called Divieto di sorpasso per I veicoli di massa complessiva a pieno carico superiore 3,5 tonnellate. It means that no overtaking for vehicles transporting goods whereby their total load is above 3.5 tons. Okay, now let's go to the English version. Very simple. It says that no overtaking for vehicles having a total mass at full load of more than 3.5 tons. So it goes to only the trucks transporting load. So if the total weight, when we say massa complessiva, it means the total or the complete weight. That is the weight of the load plus the weight of your car. So if the total weight, they are more than 3.5 tons, then the law says that overtaking is not possible for those vehicles. And even to that, the law says that this signal has also two laws. There are some cases where these big trucks still overtaking is possible for them. So now, that's what we are going to learn right now. So know that the name of this signal means that Divieto di sorpasso per I veicoli di massa complessiva a pieno carico superiore 3,5 tonnellate. Okay, meaning that no overtaking for vehicles having the total mass at full load more than 3.5 tons. Now, the first law of this signal says that I veicoli che trasportano merci di peso a pieno carico superiore 3,5 tonnellate non possono sorpassare nessun veicolo a motore. So the law says that the vehicles transporting goods, guys, now here in Italy, all the vehicles that are used to transport goods, they are called autocarro. Some of them, their weights are less than 3.5, and some of them, their weights are more than 3.5. So the law says that if your vehicles are used to transport goods and the weight of the load plus your car, if they are more than 3.5, then this signal goes to you because your total load are more than 3.5. So the law says that you can't overtake any vehicle with an engine. Any vehicle with an engine. So now it says that vehicles carrying goods weighing more than 3.5 tons at full load cannot overtake any motor vehicle. So if you are a truck driver and the total weight of your car, so the weight of the car plus the weight of the load you have in the car, if the total load is more than 3.5 tons, the law says that you can't do overtaking on any vehicle that has an engine. So now, these are the vehicles we use to transport load. Okay, yeah, and not all of these vehicles has their maximum weight more than 3.5. It depends. For example, this is also autocarro. It's a vehicle which is used to transport goods. Okay, now the total load can be less than 3.5 or more than 3.5. So if it is less than 3.5, then this signal does not go for you. If your load is less than 3.5, then you can do overtaking. Okay, but if your load is more than 3.5, then the law says that you can't overtake any vehicle that has an engine. Okay, so assuming that you are a truck driver, okay, and the load the total load is above 3.5 tons. Now, the law says that these vehicles, they have an engine. So as a truck driver, with your load more than 3.5 tons, you can't overtake any vehicle that has an engine. So Okada with 2 tires has an engine. So you can't do overtaking on them. Small Okada with an engine, you can't do overtaking. Tricycle, Auto Ventura, Auto Caravan, Autobus. So far as the vehicle ahead of you has an engine, the law says that with this signal, with the first law, you can't do overtaking on them. Now, let's go to the second law of the same signal. It says that if veicoli che trasportano merci di peso a pieno carico superiore 3,5 tonnellate possono sorpassare solo i veicoli senza motore. So guys, the law says that. Now, the second law says that the trucks transporting goods or vehicles transporting goods with their total weight more than 3.5, they can overtake only vehicles without an engine. They can only overtake vehicles without an engine. So look at the English version. Vehicles carrying goods weighing more than 3.5 tons at full load can only overtake vehicles without an engine. And these are examples of vehicles without an engine. So if, as a truck driver, the weight of your truck, your total weight is above 3.5 tons, the law says that you can do overtaking on bicycles. If there's a bicycle ahead of you, you can overtake a bicycle, you can overtake said vehicle. So every vehicle without an engine with your truck, overtaking is possible. But once those vehicles, they have an engine, you can't do overtaking on them. So guys, very simple, okay? So now, it is true that these two signals, they are all indicating no overtaking. But attenzione, they all have two laws or two rules and regulations, okay? The first one talks about the cases where overtaking are not possible. And the second one talks about where overtaking are possible, okay? So if you hear Divieto di sorpasso, or if you see these signals, okay, it does not mean that 100% overtaking is not possible. No. Though it is called no overtaking, but there are some cases where overtaking are still possible and where overtaking are not possible. So guys, very, very simple. So please, to join my live lessons, contact me and let me add you to our YouTube live lessons. Guys, God bless you, and God bless you. Please don't give up. This year is your year, and by the grace of God, you are going to make it. Don't give up. Everything is possible. God bless you guys, and see you for more videos.